Here, the next component that we will be going to deal with is the 8251, that is called USART, that is used for synchronous and asynchronous transmitter and receiver section that basically transmits data between the microprocessor unit and the external device. And this transmission is basically uh, termed as, like, when it is transmitting the data from the microprocessor that is having a parallel data. Okay, so suppose this is parallel data. We have first symbolic representation. This will be 8251, that is universal synchronous and asynchronous receiver transmitter, that this will transmit the data to the external device or the peripheral. Okay. So here the transmission from the microprocessor is parallel transmission. But when 8251 is used between peripheral and microprocessor, this parallel data will be converted to a serial data. So this will be converted to a serial data. This parallel data from the microprocessor will be converted to serial data, and that serial data will be transmitted to the peripheral. So this is how the communication between the microprocessor and the peripheral will be taking place with the help of parallel to serial conversion. Similarly, if the data transmission is going to take place between the peripheral device to microprocessor, then it will be done like here. The serial data from the peripheral will be converted to parallel data, and that will be passed to the microprocessor. Okay, so basically this 8251 IC is going to convert parallel data from the microprocessor to a serial data that will be converted, that will be sent to the peripheral device, or it will be converting a serial data to a parallel data, and the serial data will be from the peripheral device, and it will be reaching the parallel data will be going to the microprocessor. Okay. So this USART is basically, so this is your USART. So 8251 is USART, that is basically used for uh, communication in terms of serial or parallel communication. Okay, so either it will be converting the data from the serial to parallel or parallel to serial. Okay, and this transmission will be done either in the form of synchronous transmission or asynchronous transmission. That means it is having two different modes through which it will be transmitting the data. Okay. So this 51 is basically, it is a mediator between microprocessor and the peripheral device. Okay, and this mediator is going to convert a parallel data to a serial data or a serial data to a parallel data. Okay, so it will be converting the serial data to a parallel data. That will be, the serial data will be from the peripheral, and similarly, if it is going to convert the parallel data to a serial data, the serial, parallel data will be from the microprocessor. In the block diagram, basically this block diagram is divided into five different parts, or you can say sections. Different sections are there. The first section is the data bus buffer. So this is the first section, data bus buffer. The second one is read write control logic. Read write control logic. The third one is modem control. We call it modem control. Fourth one is transmitter buffer. The fifth one is transmitter buffer transmitter section. Basically, so transmitter section will consist of transmitter buffer and transmission control. So these two will be combinedly considered as the transmitter section. Okay, so we can write it like transmitter section. Next one is receiver section. Okay. So this complete architecture of 8251 is divided into 5 different parts. So this data bus buffer is the buffer that is transmitting the data of 8 bit. Okay. So this data transmission will be from the microprocessor to the 8251 or 8251 to microprocessor. Okay. So this is basically the data transmission part. In the control, read write control, how the different control pins basically going to affect the operation of 8251 is controlled by this read write control logic. Okay. And next one is modem control. So modem control is basically provide us like the transmission or receiver data is being done. So how this receiver and transmission will be operating, that is given by the modem control, how it will be converting the communication basically, that is for modem control. Transmitter control are basically the transmitter section. So in the transmission section, it will be the 8251 will be transmitting the data to the external device. Okay. And this in this case it is receiving the data. Okay. It is receiving the data. Once it is receiving, and this is for the transmission. Okay. So we will see that part into the next slides. Okay. So this data bus buffer is basically this D0 to D7 is connected to the data bus of you can say microprocessor. Whenever the data is being transmitted, the data bus buffer will be activated and it will transmit the data to the microprocessor, or it will be receiving the data from the microprocessor to the data through this data bus buffer. So this is the architecture. If we go for here, this is the receiver pin. This is receiver pin. So this is transmission TXT. This will be transmission pin will be there. So if the data is being transmitted, sent to you can say peripheral device, it will be transmitting the data from here. Okay, so this transmission will be done through this pin. Okay, so this pin, and this is how the data will be taken inside this 8251 by using the receiver RxD pin. So all these signals are there, different signals are there. When it is put into a box, it will be like its pin diagram will be there. So the pin configuration, if we see, so this is basically its pin configuration. We call it pin diagram. So here all the different pins are there. So we have considered D0 to D7. So the different positions D0, D1, D2 up to D7 is there, and all this along with the ground and the VCC. So the ground and VCC two extra pins will be added, and all other pins are the uh, control logics or different control pins are there. So all this combinedly consist of 26 pins and two this ground and VCC. So total it is having a 28 pin. Okay. So total 28 pin IC is there. Okay. This is 825. So in that the data transmission will be done through D0 to D7 bit, and here this control. So this C oblique CD bar is there, C oblique D bar is there. So this is associated with control or data read or write basically. Okay, here. So here this is either we are writing the data or we are reading the data, and that is given by this C oblique D bar pin. Okay, and read basically here read is along with how the data should be read from the microprocessor basically. Okay, so if it is performing a read operation either from the data from the microprocessor or from data inside this 8251, and this 8251 is having its internal registers basically. internal registers are there. Some registers are there inside this. There are basically three registers. Okay, so there are three different registers. So we will see like what are the three different registers. So this is data buffer register. Next one is control register. Third one is status register. Okay, so here if it is reading the data or writing the data, it is associated with like either it is reading the data from these registers or it is going to write the data to these registers. If read operation is being performed, then the read and write pins will be activated. It is active low, so based on that it will be active. Similarly, next one is chip select. So if chip select is active, if it is, that means it is provided low, then only this complete chip will be working. Okay. The next one is clock. So this clock is basically we are providing the external clock to this 8251. So its clock will be basically given by the microprocessor clock only. So whatever microprocessor clock is there, that will be connected to you. That will be operating with respect to the microprocessor clock. Reset. That means if it is made to reset all the control logics, whatever it is provided, that will be made to zero, and it will be starting with the initial concept phase. This transmitter, so this transmitter clock is basically like when the data is being transmitted, then transmitter clock basically controls the speed of data transmission. So it is this clock is basically for controlling the data transmission. Okay, so whatever data is being transmitted, either it will how many bits will be transmitted per second. Based on that, this clock is operating. So each transmitter and receiver is having separate clock. Okay, so if a data is being received, at what frequency the data will be received, that will be controlled by this receiver. This TXT is transmitter data. So whatever data need to be transmitted, that will be transmitted through this TXT pin. If data is being received, that data will be receiving through RxD pin only. And this RxRD, this is receiver ready. Receiver is ready. That means if the data, basically the receiver, each receiver and transmitter. So receiver and transmitter, both are having two different registers. So in the receiver, if we talk about the data, so in the receiver section, we are having two registers. One register is basically control the whether if it is receiver, it will be like one data will be for buffer. That means 8-bit register will be there. In that, that data will be stored before going to the transmitter. Okay, that means if data is being received, initially it will be put into one of the register, and after that it will be sent to the buffer register. Okay, so each of the receiver and the transmitter is having two different registers. Okay, so one is a buffer register. Okay, so one is buffer register and another one is basically in case of receiver it is status register, or we call it whatever output register. Okay, similarly in case of transmitter case, like it is transmitting. So in transmission section, it is having two different registers. Okay, so one is again the buffer. So each of the transmitter and receiver is having the buffer register, and along with that, in transmitter register, basically when it is going to transmit the data, that means it is outputting the data. If it is transmitting the data, means it is outputting the data. So there will be a output register. So okay, so in case of transmitter, there will be a buffer register that will be of 8-bit. Similarly, in case of receiver also, there will be a buffer register of 8-bit. Okay. In a transmission section, transmitter side, it is transmitting the data. So it will be having output register, and output register will be there. This will be of 8 bit. So whenever the output is whenever the data is being transmitted through this output register, when output register is transmitting the data and it is empty, okay, this transmitter ready pin will be activated, because when the output has output register has no data, this buffer data will be went to this output register, and this buffer register will be empty. So at that time, this transmitter ready pin is activated, like the 8251 is ready to transmit the data, because these two registers, one of these two is basically empty, so it will be activated. Okay, similarly here it is a receiver data, or we can call it input register basically. It is also 8-bit register. So one is buffer register. So when the data is being received, after going to input, it will be went to buffer register. Okay, so if the input register is empty, it will activate this receiver. Yes, receiver ready pin. It will be activated. Like if input register is empty, it will be activated, activating the receiver ready pin. So this receiver ready pin will be activated. So the 8251 it sends data to microprocessor, like it is ready to receive the data. So this is how the transmitter and receiver pins basically works. The next one is the modem related pins. So here this is data set ready. Whenever the transmission is ready, it will be activating this data set ready pin. Okay, so next one is data terminal ready. So if uh, the transmitter or receiver is ready, based on that it will be uh, activated basically. Next is sync det and BT. So sync detect and break detect. This is basically in case of either synchronous or asynchronous mode of transmission we are performing, that will be converted. So we will see that these pins later, like how it is going to affect. Next one is request to send data. Whenever the data need to be sent, this if it is going to request for data, sending the data, it will be activated. RDS will be activated, and clear to send. So in this case, so all these pins basically is going to uh, communicate between the receiver and transmitter, like how the receiver and transmitter will be performing. That's why these signals are called modem. We have seen like different parts are there. So these are called modem control. So modem control is basically like how it is going to control the transmitter and receiver sex. So basically modem control means communication control basically. So if it is taking the communication, like if it is receiving data or transmitting data, that will be controlled by the modem control. Okay. So once we will see some examples like how it is going to control the data, how the data is being transmitted, that we will see the next. Okay. One more part we should be seeing is, okay. So there are some registers we have already seen. The control register, status register, and buffer registers. Three different registers are there. So these registers are basically uh, as this control register is there. So in this control register means the rest whatever data will be there in the control register, that basically is going to control the operation. Okay, this control register is going to give the instruction or command to the 8251, like it what particular mode 8251 should be. So this is the control register. Okay, so this control register is having two different type, like 8 bit of data is considered as the 8 bit is considered as the mode instruction, and the next one is command instruction. Okay, so two different bytes of data, because it is a 16-bit register. Okay, so in this control word, it is basically related to the mode, like what particular mode this 8251, what is the command to the 8251 that will be stored in the next 8 bit. Okay, so this is the full control register in the status register. So status register is basically what is the status of 8251 that will be governed by the status register. So whatever mode it is operating, or whether it is transmitting the data or receiving the data, that will be uh, depicted by this status registers basically. In the data buffer register, this data buffer register is basically the register that will be helpful for providing the data to the microprocessor or retrieving the data from the microprocessor to the 8251. Okay, so this is basically a buffer. It is a data buffer is there. That means register is there in which if data need to be transmitted, it will be passing through the data bus buffer, and next if it is receiving the data, that will be passing through this data bus buffer. Okay, so it is bidirectional register that can be addressed as an input port or an output port when the CD pin is low. So CD pin is low means there is control and the data. Okay, so if it is low, it will be considered as a data. Okay, so it will be considered as a data. Okay, so in that case, it will be given by this either it is working in control mode, or it will be working in a data mode. Okay, so this data bus buffer is having the control over this CD pin. Okay, so next we will see like how we can select these registers. So whenever data need to be written, or data need to be accessed, read. So data, if microprocessor wants to read the data from the 8251, or it is going to write the data from to the 8251, how this command should be selected, like how the control should be converted such that the microprocessor is able to read or write the data to 851. So there the read write we will see like how the read and write logic is converted. So here we will see the read and write logic. So read and write logic, basically here how different control pins are going to uh, the operation. We will see that. Okay. So one of the control line is being the CS, that is chip select. Okay. Next one is CD bar. It is one of the pin in the logic control section. Next one is receiver. Sorry. Another one is write. So based on the different modes of these control, different operation will be performed by 8251. So when the chip select is 1, that means chip is not selected. It is not activated. So whatever the condition with these pins are there, it will be considered as the invalid command, you can say. So whenever the CS pin is low, then only these control bits will be operating. So whenever this is low and this is also 0, that means it is data related work is going to be performed. And if read is 0 and write is 1, that means read need to be performed. So here it is data bar. If 0 is there, means the data bar will be 1. So data related operation need to be performed. So it is going to perform data related work. And in that data related work, it is going to read. Read is activated. That means it is going to read. That means the CPU is going to read, or the microprocessor we call it. The microprocessor is going to read data from 8251. Okay. So if this is the condition with the control lines, then this operation will be performed. Okay. The next we will see if the chip select is 0 and C oblique D bar is 0, that means data related work to be performed. and here it is 1, and this is 0. That means it is going to write something, and it is data related. Okay, so it is going to write something. Okay, so that means the microprocessor is going to write CPU, or the microprocessor is going to write data to 8251. Okay, so this is your second control logic. The next one is like chip select is 0. Okay, in that case, if CD bar, C oblique D bar is 1, that means control related work is going to be performed. So if control related work is going to be performed, if read is 0, that means control related work operation is need to be performed by the microprocessor to 8251. So here in the control related information, so here the status, because it is reading, the microprocessor is going to read. So whatever control register is there or status register is there, the microprocessor is going to read the data from 8251. So this reading means it is going to know the status. Okay, so it is going to read the status register or status word. Basically, the microprocessor is reading the data from the 8251. That means it is going to know like in what particular mode the 8251 is operating. So it is going to know the status of 8251. The status word will be read by the CPU or the microprocessor. So microprocessor is going to read the 8251 status word register. So whatever status register is there of 8251 is going to read by the microprocessor. So it is going to read the status register. The next one is if chip select is 0 and this is 1, okay, and this is 1 and this is 0. That means it is going to write, and what it is going to write, it is going to write something related to control. So this is control is activated. Okay, so it is going to write the control related something. It is basically going to write the control word. Control word will be retained to 8251. So CPU or the microprocessor is going to write 8251, and this write will be done to the control register. Okay. So this is how the control logic works whenever it is going to perform some read or write related operation, and either in write operation or read operation it is going to read or write status of register, or it is going to write the control logic control register basically. Okay, one is data register. So data register will be useful for transmitting the data. Okay, so this is the basic introduction related to the 8251. Now we will see some formats of different registers basically. So we will see uh, format of mode register. So we know the control register. The control register is of two types. One is mode register and one is the command register. So it is control is of 16-bit, and this is 8-bit, and this is 8-bit. So we are going to see like how this mode register values of different uh, values of different bits of this mode register is going to affect the operation of 8251. Okay, so we will see the format of 8251 mode register. So in that format, based on like whether it is going to perform the synchronous operation or asynchronous operation, we'll see. So if suppose it is performing asynchronous related operations, then in that case, what will be the format of mode register? Okay, so here this mode register format will be given by okay. So this 8 bits is assigned different works or different operation. So this is B1, B2, L1, L2, PEN, PP, S1, S2. Okay. So here this is the mode register of 8251 such that the data transmission is going to take place in okay. So in that this B1 and B2 is going to tell about the baud rate factor. What is baud rate means? What is the rate of transmission of this baud rate going to tell like how the data transmission is going to take place. So data transmission is basically uh, done with the different times of baud rate. So if it is one time or 16 time or 64 times baud rate transmission is going to take place, that will be assigned controlled by this B1 and B2 bit. So if this is 00, this means the data transmission is going to take place in synchronous mode. Okay. If this is 0 and 1, these two bits are 0 and 1, that means the rate of transmission or rate of transmission or the receiver will be having a factor 1. That means whatever the baud rate of the system is there, the same will be the baud rate of transmission. Next one is if it is 1 0, it is like whatever the baud rate is there, 16 times of the baud rate, the rate of transmission will be performed. If it is 1 1, that means a factor of 64 will be there. So 64 times the baud rate will be the rate of transmission. Okay. This is controlled by this two bits. The next one is L1 and L2. So basically, this L1 and L2 is going to tell the number of data bits basically. Okay. So it is going to tell the number of data bits. So what number of data bits it is having, that will be governed by if it is 00, that means 5 data bits are there. If it is 01, that means 6 data bits are there. If 10, that means 7 data bits are there. If 11, that means 8 data bits are there while receiving or transmitting. Okay. The next one is PEN. So this PEN is going priority enable. So this is it is called priority enable. Okay. So in priority enable, if it is 0, that means it is priority enable. Okay. So if it is 0, that means no priority bit is there. If it is 1, okay. If it is 1, that means priority bit is present. Okay, so this is this mode register is basically going to assign, or it is going to give the 8251 some instructions, like what need to be followed by 8251, and these are basically uh, assigned by the microprocessor. Okay. So based on the data of the 8-bit data that will be transmitted to 8251 through a data bus buffer, that will be assigning the mode register different values. Okay. So this EP, that is EP. So this is PEN is used for whether the parity bit is enabled or not, and EP is there, that is basically going to tell what is the type of this parity bit. This is basically going to tell what is parity type. So if it is 0, that means it is odd parity. If it is 1, that means even parity is there. Okay. The next one is uh, these two bits. So these two bits are basically called the number of stop bits. Okay. So number of stop bits means, so while transmitting the data, uh, always there is start and end of the data. Okay, so suppose you want to send the data, uh, suppose you have 15 bits to transmit or 25 bits to transmit. So from which bits we will be considering, like the data has been started, that is given by the start and stop bit. Okay, so always there is a start and stop bit. Okay, so here, so what type of stop bits will be there, that is governed by this S1 and S2. So if S1 and S2 is 00, then it is considered as an invalid. If it is 01, that means one stop bits will be used. If it is 10, that means 1.5 stop bits will be used. 11, that means 2 bits for a stop bit. So this is the asynchronous mode. If it is asynchronous mode, then the format of mode register will be given by this. The next we will see, if the synchronous mode of operation is to be performed, the second one is in case of synchronous mode, the format of the mode register will be given by a different control logics. So these two are 00 in case of synchronous. If it is synchronous, because the previous case we have considered like this is like in case of asynchronous mode. So in that it's asynchronous mode, this was the baud rate. In that, if it is 00, that means synchronous mode is there. So if it is synchronous mode, these two bits will be 0. Next one is L1 and L2. This is PEN, EP. This is called now PSD, and this is called CSCS. So we will see different parts. Okay, so this is like if it is 00, that means it is operating in synchronous mode. Okay, so this is the next one is L1 and L2. Okay, so this L1 and L2 again is going to tell what is the number of data bits basically. So this number of data bits, again number of data bits we have seen. So this is the same, the number of data bits. Okay. The next one is parity enable. So it is the same parity enable is there. The parity enable is if the parity is enabled or not. Okay. So this is your parity type, and if it is enabled, parity is enabled or not, that will be governed by this parity enable. Okay. So if it is 0, that means if it is 0, that means no parity is. If it is 1, that means the parity is there. Here it is called no parity. This is enabled. If parity is enabled, then what type of parity is there, with either even or odd, that will be given. The next we will see ESG. So this ESG is basically is going to use whether this uh, sync pin is there. We have considered that in the pin diagram there was a pin called sync. This pin is sync detect, okay, or bad break or break detect. Sync detect or break detect. So this pin, like if it is asynchronous mode or it is working as a input or output, that will be assigned by this ESD. So ESD pin is basically going to tell if it is 0, that means your sync pin is there. Sync detect pin is going to work as output. If it is 1, that means sync detect will be considered as the input pin. The next one is the SCS. So it is SCS is called the number, basically going to tell the number of synchronous characters or synchronous characters, uh, number of synchronous characters. So if it is 0, that means 2 characters will be considered as the synchronous character. If it is 1, that means 1 character will be there for synchronous detector. Okay, so this is how the mode register of 8251 is being controlled, and it is controlled by the 8085 or any microprocessor. So whatever mode of operation need to be performed by the 8251, or in what particular mode it is operating under synchronization, we will be putting the 8-bit of data to its mode register. So whatever data we will be putting with respect to that, 8251 is going to operate.